So here's the magic that, in terms of a place where all the magic happens with respect to a hybrid pool. Vinyl liner, the rest of the pool is vinyl, seal wall, all of that. In this particular case, the end wall, this whole sun shelf, is concrete. And right here, we have the example of where our pebble, we did a pebble finish, meets our liner with the seal strip. Now, the key to this is, you can see I started cutting the liner off. Here's where the liner was pulled up, drilled in. We'll cut that off, and then we've got our face strip, which covers over. Once that's covered, we have a really clean, finished look that you'll never notice. Once it's full of water, you'll almost barely, while it's dry you can see it, but there'll be just a slight distinction between the two of these. The colors match really well. And that little gray line in between is almost unnoticeable because it's the color that we're using and the fact that we keep it down low enough so that it's not, if we had it right here at the surface, it would be a little more obvious. So that's where the magic happens there. As the liner fills in, or the water fills in, it literally just comes up and right over onto the sun shelf. We have a nice seal behind here. This is all concrete anchored in stainless steel screws, just like you would a normal step. The only difference is, instead of there being a plastic piece behind a fiberglass step that you're screwing into, now we're screwing directly into the concrete, but we have everything sealed. So there it is. That's really the magic. The key to doing this, though, is not the simple straight parts. It's when you get to the radiuses and the curves and all of those pieces come together, you really have to think in your mind as you're building it, what is that going to look like when this comes down and meets this? If it's just a rectangle, it's nice and square like you do on a normal step. But when you have radiuses that you're trying to marry up to, you have to think about all of those. How are those pieces going to come together when we're shooting the concrete and we're marrying it to a steel wall? How is that going to look, and where are we going to attach? If you can do that, the rest of it is simple. You just have to have the proper work done ahead of time in terms of the thought process to make sure that you don't miss any of the steps along the way.